right, here we are in the middle of Wrigleyville. We're in the bottom of the main event, and this is our comic clubhouse, and we're having cocktails and comics.
That's right.
And we're talking comics, and we're having cocktails, except for Galo, who's not having cocktails. But here we are. Cheers, fellas. Let's talk about. We have.
Salud. Yeah.
We have one of the two people responsible for some of the most innovative independent comics that come around in a long time. Now, we're not taking anything away from Underbelly, which is our lovely, lovely people. That's actually Overbelly, but it's Underbelly, Overbelly. So we have the Sun Brothers here. Now, we only have one.
We got one of the Sun Brothers.
Yeah, one brother here. But this is some amazing stuff. Chinatown, there's Apocalypse Man, and Monkey Fist. And I'm going to turn this over. This is some beautiful stuff.
Thank you.
I mean, I was really just, I'm going to tell you, I'm so self-centered that I'm jealous of the fact that how much talent is involved in this. And I'm mildly turned on by your characters, not the rodents, of course, but I like that you put Chucks in there.
Yeah.
That is cool as hell. That is awesome. Okay, that's really a picture. Put it right there. That picture. That one right there. Wow.
Yeah, that's
is that Steven Seagal?
No.
Is that one of your ancient relatives that you
No.
conjured up, or what the fuck?
No.
This is some great stuff. This is amazing. Okay,
Thank you.
let's talk about Chinatown, which
Yes.
I love Chinatown.
Yeah.
Ping Tong Park, one of my favorite parks in the city of Chicago.
There you go.
Is that a great place? Or
It
not?
is.
All right.
It is.
So
I
talk
love
about you
Yeah,
and your brother.
absolutely. So my name is Wesley Sun. I'm one half of Sun Brothers Studios. I work with my brother Brad Sun, who's based out of Boston. We write our scripts together. We self-publish all our own comics, and Brad does all the visual art. He does all the art, the inking, the lettering. That's all him. And Chinatown was our very first graphic novel. It was released in 2012 after a very successful Kickstarter campaign. And it's been taught at DePaul University as part of their race and social justice and graphic novel course.
Oh, really? Is
yeah,
there a message to it?
This is,
I want no part of that. Really?
We're done.
Yeah, we're over. Yeah. Let's get on to the zombies, dude.
Really, Chinatown's like a haunted house story. It's really, it's a supernatural.
That's the real Chinatown, right?
Well, people always ask us, like, well, which Chinatown is it? The Chinatown here in Chicago? Me and my brother are from Florida. Is it the Chinatown back in Orlando where we're from? And, we like to say this is
But
kind
that's
of
produced by Disney, the Chinatown you're from.
Well, in Orlando, almost everything's produced by Disney over there.
Dismaland. That's our sponsor next year. Dismaland.
Don't show them this episode.
Yeah, don't get on the castration coaster. How did the big tall guy get in with these two little monkeys? Okay, go ahead. Anyway, okay, so let's get back. They asked you where it's at Chinatown.
Yeah, so this is really like a mythical, magical realism picture of Chinatown, where a lot of scary things happen. It's about an immigrant community that has to react when one little girl goes missing, and then stranger and more bizarre events unfold. So it ends up being sort of a psychological horror book.
I haven't read this yet, but
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I just looked at it, and it literally gave me that little,
Oh, good.
okay,
Good.
and then when you tell me about it,
Yeah.
despite the fact that it sounds like, I'm not very smart, I just have these movie star good looks, but what I'm saying is that it sounds like something that I'd really be interested in, because it sounds like it's a comic for the day.
Yeah.
Because we have that, not just a mythical area,
Yeah.
but we're all concerned. You're a cop. I'm just a concerned citizen.
I didn't know you were a cop.
That's
This is
okay.
a cop.
Yeah, that's okay. But I'm just saying, everybody is concerned about, and everybody's concerned about social justice,
Yeah.
neighborhood involvement, all that kind of good stuff. Am I
Yeah.
wrong?
No, I think that's right. I think that's right.
This is breathtaking artwork.
So now I gotta ask.
Thank you,
Go ahead.
Kenny.
I gotta ask.
Yeah, you got to
Hit
jump
me.
into
This, obviously, we're looking at this is what considered a graphic novel.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
pages?
This one is about 120 pages.
About
See, I don't
120
know that
pages.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so now this graphic novel finds its way into your imagination, finds
Yeah.
its way onto paper.
That's right.
Your brother makes it happen.
That's right.
You guys publish it.
Yeah.
Now, how do you pitch it to a university?
So, for the university, I was introduced to a professor.
That's an awesome question.
It's a good question. So I
said awesome.
met somebody from the university at an arts festival
Okay.
where I was, and she picked up a copy of a book in the bookstore. So
Okay.
our books are around Chicagoland. Different bookstores carry our books. So she had picked up a copy, asked me about it, said, "Hey, I have a colleague who wants to. She's not a huge comic book reader, but is trying to put together a curriculum for it. Would you meet her?" And I teach at the University of Chicago in the Divinity School when I'm not doing comics.
Oh,
Nice.
holy.
So
I'm sorry. Holy creepers, Asian man. Holy
That's
Holy!
I'm when I'm not doing comics, I teach at the divinity school and I'm a jail chaplain, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
work
Been
at,
there,
I work at,
done that?
Yeah, I work at,
Yeah,
I work
you
at,
put people there?
I put yeah, 26 in California.
Okay.
I go there once a week to visit detainees.
I do
there.
too, but I'm usually.
Yeah, you do something else.
I'm
then.
on the
That's-
court side.
That's right, you're on the other side.
Excuse me, I am very happy to say I don't go there at all anymore.
That's, you know,
I'm over there going, I'm going to send you to Wesley's.
Yeah, that's right.
Chaplain's son.
You go see Chaplain Wesley.
Chaplain Wesley. So that, I mean, that's what I do when I'm not doing comics. And so it
Wow,
was
you're
really
like a really good human being then.
well, you know.
I need to step a couple feet back from
That's
you,
right.
then, just so you.
He might actually.
So you
He might actually catch on fire.
Is it my we're
somebody
somebody
might. Oh my gosh.
So it really what it was it was just lunch between just two faculty members at two different universities talking comics, and I said, if you're interested, I'd be happy to come and give a talk at your school to some of your students, and then they
Absolutely.
pulled in some other students for different classes, and that's kind of where it went from there.
Okay.
So
nice.
that's how that happened. Yeah.
And then they pulled it in, and
Yep.
okay, so now they actually had to read it. Okay, so they
Yeah.
found their story to be driven by it had a Chinese influence, obviously. So this is
Chinatown.
why they wanted to put it
It's not
because.
called Jewtown.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
the thing is, you
You
could
could make
title
one, you
something.
just gotta round out the eyes and make bigger
Well,
noses,
it would
yeah.
be it would be
Yeah, no,
different
I'm sorry,
cat.
yeah,
There'd be a
okay.
different cat on the front.
You could title something that says, heaven,
Yeah.
and it's all about hell.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So
That's right.
That's the
right.
bathroom
there
door.
was a lot of this that influenced
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah, and
So-
we didn't set out to write something for a class or anything. I
Uh-huh.
mean, this is really just the story that we have to tell.
That's
and-
even better, though.
Well, yeah, so that to me, that's I speak at some Comic Cons like C2E2 Wizard World, those sorts of places, and I'm on panels sometimes, and they ask
I
us
get
like,
drunk at those places.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's not a Comic Con I don't get.
does
drunk
that make the
at.
panels better? It seems like it might.
I
for
got
some of
shoved
them-
by
for some
Stan
of them.
Lee out of the way. Does
You
that
got-
make
you got
me-
shoved by Stan
yeah,
Lee?
he like shoved me out of the
He
way.
didn't shower for a week.
You seem like a big. I just met you, Kenny, but you seem like a big guy, and I haven't met Stan Lee, but he's not seemed like
Yeah,
a
he's
really
a-
huge guy.
no,
I'm
he's a tiny
surprised.
little cat.
I'm surprised Stan
Yeah,
Lee can
so-
shove you around.
No, he just shoved me out of the way. You ever see the guys that are with him?
No.
So that's the.
Well,
the
no,
lovely
absolutely.
Jessica's joined us in our interview
Hey!
of the Sun Brothers.
Hello.
We're doing cocktails and comments tonight.
Are you
Okay.
stealing my tips?
Well, now that we've gone from something that's
yeah.
educational,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
and it wasn't planned that way, but ends
Yeah.
up being that
Yeah.
way. So you guys are have you had any interest from any other universities, any other schools?
I've spoken at my own university, the University of Chicago, about this at some other community events. But as far as being part of the course curriculum, no. But I would be happy to talk to anybody who's interested. I love working with students and I love being in the classroom, so I would definitely be open to that.
Yeah, I hated the classroom my
Now,
whole life.
we're gonna do
this.
Oh, we're gonna do Monkey Fist.
We're gonna do
Monkey
Monkey
Fist.
Fist. And
So
why
this-
we're gonna do Monkey Fist is because now we have a title that could go any different ways.
That's right.
Could be
Wesley,
very popular.
Do you want to
to
guess what this is about first before I tell you about it?
Is
From
it-
the cover alone and the title, you want to take a guess at what this is?
Okay, because I do have some cerebral.
is this a Kabuki influence?
There's a theater influence there.
Yeah.
There is.
Okay,
Okay.
so my question is this involving three wishes?
There are wishes in the book. Yes.
And,
How did you get that from the cover? That's pretty good.
No, I got that from the title.
From the
because
title,
as any good person who is literate would know,
Yeah.
the Monkey Fist.
So how did you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, like the monkey's paw,
Well,
right?
some
The
say
wishes.
monkey's
Yeah,
paw,
right.
the monkey's
Yeah,
paw.
yeah.
So I'm just saying that there's I don't know.
There's a theater influence and wishes. This is a very, very loose retelling, really more of an inspiration from some old Chinese folk tales
Oh,
about the
sweet.
Monkey King.
Nice.
And the Monkey King was, there are many stories
Isn't that
about
Jungle
him.
Book?
No,
I'm the
that's
king of the
different.
jungle.
That's
Oh,
different.
The jungle VIP.
But that was an orangutan. See?
That's
Tying it all
right.
in.
That was orangutan.
That was
We bring it
orangutan.
all right back.
That's right. But the Monkey Fist
I love this.
is
It's
part of this
beautiful.
this incredible epic piece of literature called Journey to the West.
Okay.
And it's a story about the Monkey King and all of these other characters who journey from China to India to retrieve these Buddhist scriptures.
Okay.
Okay? But we
A little bit
took
of
that
cross-dressing
story.
in here.
So
too.
yeah, there's a little bit of that too. We took that story and instead of being set in mystical China, it's set in a fast food restaurant.
Oh, nice.
And the main character, Monkey, is trying to figure out where the burgers come from. And he ends up in this kind of like psychological journey where he has to meet a bunch of maniacs and monsters. There's a lot of cartoon violence and video game references.
Oh, sweet.
And you saw the face on the cover. That's an adaptation of the old makeup for Chinese opera.
Okay.
Whenever
Yeah.
the Monkey King's portrayed, it's that red and white face paint. And so we adapted that. Brad took those images
Just
and
beautiful,
woven them
just
together.
simply beautiful.
Yeah,
these
thank
are
you.
these
Thank
are
you so
not
much.
just graphic novels. These are functional works of art.
Thank you, Kenny.
That's
I
what they
appreciate
truly
that.
are.
Thank you.
I'm going to
So-
tell you something.
So
you know,
now we're gonna segue
You segue
into
into
an actual comic.
Look at
comic.
all that.
A comic,
Yes.
yes.
Look at it, look at it.
Yeah.
Now this is a comic just because what we would look at and say, okay, how many pages?
This one's going to be 40-something pages.
It's a little bigger than a comic book.
It's a, little,
but
it's a thicker comic, but yeah, that's right.
These are
It's almost like a double issue.
artists, Yeah.
Okay, tell
Yeah.
us about that one.
So there's Apocalypse Man. This is here. So actually, this is our second book. So Monkey Fist was our most recent graphic novel.
Okay.
Apocalypse Man, that was released between Chinatown and Monkey Fist.
Sweet.
And this is something, it's really our response to how popular zombies have become. They're everywhere
I
now.
have so many
They're your big-
issues with the popular concept of zombies.
All right, lay it on me, Kenny. Tell me about popular
Here's the deal.
zombies and the problem with them.
Here's the deal.
Yes.
World War Z, epic, wonderful book.
Okay.
Wonderful podcast.
Yes.
Or, you know, I mean, audiobook.
Yes.
And all of
Yes.
just a host of stars.
Yes.
Okay. Then we have We're Alive, which most people don't know about.
I don't know that
Which
one.
was a podcast that ran for 3 years.
Yeah.
Like everybody just did it. The difference is that, in my viewpoint, from my point of view, I don't care about Walking Dead. Enough said. Image Comics, Giant, and every other zombie thing there is. George Romero, wonderful father of the faith.
Yeah.
So to speak, not your faith, but you know what I'm saying. But so my deal is, yeah, Galo's gonna go beat a kid. But the deal is that what I have a problem with
Yeah.
is that there's only been one person, and this was 15 years ago,
Yeah.
at Wizard World at Rosemont,
Okay.
that was standing outside smoking with me and
Yeah.
saying, zombies make no sense to me. Because the only way they make sense to me is if there's a biochemical, mechanical research thing that gets into it.
Yeah.
What happens to the human body when it decays? Because we see all sorts of things in the human body.
Yeah.
We see all sorts of the ocular, you know, your eye. You're how many percent water? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a lot roid, so I have no clue. But yeah. Prescription. Thank you very much. But what I'm saying is that what they don't do is they don't follow logic. I understand that we all have to suspend.
Well, there's no
belief.
fantasy in logic.
But
We're talking about fantasy.
No, I get it. But you know what? That was a World War Z, for instance. That's an 80-mile-an-hour zombie.
Yes.
Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. Okay, never occurred in the book or anything like that. Okay, how fast these.
Oh, you're talking about the movie? Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
okay.
Adaptations are
Now,
completely
when we
different
start
thing.
talking about, there's been one guy who came out of, I think it was Cornell Medical, who did a medical analysis of what a zombie, of how it works. You
Yeah.
probably read, people read that. It's a book that's in resellers all the time. But the deal is that there is a way to present zombies that you don't have to suspend belief that they make. Like if the government came up with a virus that's injected with nanotechnology and animates a dead body or a body that's whatever,
Yeah.
the infection is always carried.
Yeah.
So that would make it work. You know what I mean?
I see,
Because the
yeah.
nanotechnology would make it
With
work.
the thing about having a brain but not the thought and the thinking sort of thing, it would work.
Yeah, if you're only driven by absolute base things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Cocktails and Comics is all about. It's all about interaction, man. So that's
Okay,
cool.
so now I'm
So
gonna
what I'm
tell
saying,
you. We save that for another show. Let's go here.
This is what
you
we're gonna.
just threw me off my own show.
I was
That
about to
sucks.
say.
I
You've
just
been
did,
popping in
that's
and
right.
out
That's
and
right.
redirecting. This is, I said that.
You can edit that.
Just cut that out. I said that me and my brother write scripts together. This is one where really Brad took the lead on writing this and illustrating this himself. Apocalypse Man is kind of our take on horror survival, and it's really playing on the fact that
That's my thing.
that zombies are not only popular right now. I would say they're probably overplayed.
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 Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
is it fair?
terrible
Is it fair to say,
Yeah.
without an insult to any of my
Well,
colleagues writing this
Twilight
thing?
killed a vampire, so something had to jump in.
I mean, I think that at this point, there are certain beats in the narrative, certain genre conventions that are standard.
Right.
Right. You can expect there's a guy who gets bit, he doesn't tell anybody.
Yeah, that guy in the
there's
mall, that
then
guy,
you gotta
yeah.
shoot your mother or something like that. I mean, there's always like somebody. So this was our chance to try to invert the narrative and
Okay.
play on people's expectations. The good news about oversaturating the market with a narrative is you can now play on people's expectations.
Right.
Right. Because now people have assumptions, and some of the best praise we get for Apocalypse Man is when people will read it. Actually, a guy bought a copy sat down and read it and said I never saw the ending coming, and people
Sweet.
some of the best praise
Oh, I
we
want
get.
to read it from the back.
So some of the don't even read the back. You're gonna ruin it for yourself. The best praise we get is when people come back and say thank you for writing an original zombie story.
Nice.
Because I do
See, that's
feel
what
that's missing.
See, that's what I like. Here's the deal. Where would you go? Take all the kidding out of it when you zombie apocalypse. Because I actually think when I'm driving, think about this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like some people think about winning the lottery.
Yeah. You think about the apocalypse.
My life is I won the lottery. Okay. You know, the people in my life make me a gazillionaire.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I think about it, I'm like, okay. So I'm listening to a podcast. Always. And I think, well, I would just go to Costco. That would be my first stop.
Because you can get everything.
Yeah, I would
There's
be.
like big cases of non-perishable food.
No, I would be in Costco, fortifying Costco, getting rid of the. I wouldn't go to the mall.
I see.
I go to Costco. Then I branch out. You know, I'm like,
That's
okay,
right.
I got this, I got that, I got
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, there's certain places you want to stay away from.
Would you let people into the Costco with you? Are you like barricading people from there?
Yeah, I would be barricading people at the beginning.
So there'd be people banging on the door. You'll be surrounded by Costco-sized cases of tuna and bread and so on.
Hopefully, because that's
and
how
you just,
my workout time.
That's right. That's
But
right.
yeah, but my deal
And
is.
you're not letting anybody in.
You're not
Well,
letting
you know, by
anybody in.
that time,
You're-
cell
you're just-
phone
you're
wouldn't
work-
be
you're work-
down.
You're working
There would
out
be
and
people-
eating tuna.
I would have that plan. Send that PDF out. Costco, Western Avenue.
Okay.
We'd all meet there. We get it together, and then we figure it all out together.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not going to go through the apocalypse alone.
That's right.
Right.
And they have a gas station too. You can fuel up.
That's
get out
the
of town.
key. You got to remember, there was a great documentary because I love film,
Yeah.
and there was it was a mockumentary about everybody in the world died except for several hundred people in giant cities.
Okay.
And it was, and the idea was, it made sense because there's not going to be an underabundance of supplies. Nobody's going to be lacking.
Yeah.
There's going to be more than we all need.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, so those are the kind of, but I like that stuff. That's like you
Good.
said, that's another zombie
The fact
conversation.
that you said that you wrote a comic about zombies,
Yeah.
and people didn't see the ending coming,
Yeah.
is huge.
I
That
think
is-
so.
That is
Stupid
something
big.
that needs to be out. That
Yeah.
is something
Thank
that
you.
needs to
Thank
get
you.
out there. That
I could
there are
show
other
the
ways
end
to
of
do
it
this.
right now, but
That would
that's
be
not
that would
gonna
be a
do it.
cruel
Because
thing.
what almost everybody tries to do is they try to play on how the disease affects them,
Yeah.
how it all happens.
The love
How-
stories, they make
right.
me sick.
But you know, these zombies are different
Love stories
because
make Kenny sick.
it only affects this, or it only changes this.
Yeah.
But to actually have somebody say zombie, holy crap!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm
Thank
personally
you.
not
Thank
going
you.
to the last few pages.
That's right. I will say this. It's a shameless plug here. If you go to our website, the whole comic is up online for free.
And what is your website?
It's www.sunbrosstudios.com. I don't know what the frame is looking like, but if you can stick the link right there, that's where I would put. Actually, Kenny, flip that cover on. There, that's where it is right there. You go to sunbrosstudios.com, click on Apocalypse Man. You can read the whole comic for free. We put it online because I think a lot of folks, especially independent guys like us,
Yes.
I understand why at Comic-Con
Well-
they might be hesitant to check us out. We say, you know what? Well, check out our stuff. If you like it, come back. You know,
Right,
that's
cool.
up to you. And I understand.
And your plan is not to stop. You're going to keep going.
That's right. No,
So
we're
you're gonna keep
we've
bringing
got
it.
things in the work right
Awesome.
now. So,
Awesome.
yeah. So Apocalypse Man, you can go to the website right now and read it. Perfect.
That's awesome. I got to read these.
Wesley, thank you so much.
Thank you,
brother.
Galo.
Hey,
Thank
let's
you,
have another
man.
cocktail.
Let's
with
do
the
it.
comics.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right,
Absolutely.
this is the end, I think, or the beginning, whatever it is. We're going to go upstairs and beat small children with sticks.
Yes.
Because those are the people in the background that you
Never
hear.
mind.
That, yeah.
This is. I
Well,
like it when the police officer endorses this kind of
Yes.
behavior. He was really.
He
does
doesn't
not.
endorse it. He does not endorse
Does not-
it.
he's
He just
letting it
understands
figure
it. No, we're just joking.
Yeah.
So, hey, thanks for so much for visiting us. Once again, thanks to the Sun Brothers for
Yeah.
producing fantastic stuff. You never see the
was your
incoming,
brother's
but you
name?
can see the back of it. Brad
Brad.
is his name. All right, so we're going to have this up soon. Talk to you soon. Cocktails and Comics main event, Wrigleyville, Chicago.
Right.
Peace.
Yeah.